Okay, here we are again with Coronation. Basically from the last session all I've done is go in and feed him each morning and bribe him. I've started to give him some carrots so that he will come up to me and at least let me touch him. We've had a rug on for the last few days, so he's allowed that to happen. He's been rugged before anyway, but it was just me that he didn't trust. So today's going to be the first session where I try and actually do anything other than be his friend. Today I'm going to try and drive him around a little bit, see what he understands, because he's had a fair bit done with him, but I just don't know exactly how it was done. So we'll see how he responds to me. I'm going to start pretty well like I would with any horse, just see how he moves away from energy. Wave that around a little. In fact, if he's really wary about it, I might just start over here with it and just see whether he needs to leave or not. Now, if he's allowed to leave, then there shouldn't be any need for him to attack it. If I trap him with it in any way, or put it too close to him, he might have to kill it. And move his shoulders around. See how he responds. I'd like him to move to his left, away from it, and he's sort of worried and sort of pushing into it. Come on, move away. There, and just let him have a think. He moved away. So that was a reaction, not a response. You know, if I'm going to climb on him, then this is just a bit of rag. I wouldn't start with plastic. If that touches him, flaps around a little bit. I just want to see if he's mainly, you know, how worried he is. Is he going to have to defend himself and kick the flag? What I don't want to do to him is force him to stay still. Because when I start riding him, forwards is going to be a good thing for me. I don't want him getting stuck and getting scared. Good boy. And drive him forwards. See if I can push him away from me a little bit, sideways there. Get some control of his shoulders, step him away, step his hind away. Give him some time to have a bit of a think. Maybe space as well as time. I've got to get used to the way I treat him, so I don't want him to feel afraid of me. But I do need him to learn that I'm going to have to be his leader if I'm going to be safe to ride him. And you can go forwards. There we go. Forwards and step away from me with your shoulders. And then drift the hind away. Give him another rub. Good. There we go. There we go. Go past the saddle. Just notice how he looks at things like that out of his other eye. I might push him around the outside of the saddle so that he doesn't feel squeezed between me and it. Can you take your shoulders over? Come on, take your shoulders over. I won't change my plan, just keep working on this until he... Hey, come on, you need to lead with your nose and take your feet across. That's it. And then let him have a think again. At any stage, I've got a few goals. I wanted him to go up to my saddle. But if anything starts to need to be fixed, I'll just forget about what I was doing and go back to just fixing whatever problems come up. Why I changed then is, you know, if I release him or take the pressure off him for a bit, you know, maybe that's a better way of explaining it, while he's emotional and braced and pushing against me, that's better. I would have taught him that it was a good idea to do that. So let's try again to take his nose and his feet over here. Good. And then if I put the flag behind the wither, You should come forwards from there. Can you come forwards? I'm sending him around the other side of my saddle. And if he wants to sniff it, check it out, play with it, that would be fine. I just set it up that he almost has to step on it. Don't go over me, go around it. Go around it. There you go. I'm going to want to put that on his back. So if he's avoiding it completely, it might not be the easiest thing for me to get on him. Let him have a look at it. So I don't want him to just shut that out. You know, I can probably put it on his back, but I don't want him to sort of behave like there's nothing happening to him when there is. Good boy. Okay, you don't want to touch it? Try not to be too careful with it. Throw it around a little bit. Good. Same with this, when I set it up that I've got control of him, even though I've got the saddle in my arms. I want to be able to grab that rein pretty quickly if he got scared. Nice to have it free so that I can rub him, but I need really quick to be able to go back to the halter. You gonna sniff that saddle? Good boy. See if we can swing that up. You gonna stay there? There we go. Drift his hip away. Go back to the pad again if he's worried. Good boy. Can't stand still, then I'm not going to get it on, am I, hey? There's a good boy. Just everything so that's going to be the length that I ride in. There you go. Change eyes. Sort of try and set it up that he doesn't move until I'm ready. Good boy. Okay, you've got a lot of weight on that left front, haven't you? Hey? You're pushing in a bit. There we are. Rub in with the back of my hand there, and I've still got the rape short. There have been times when I was a farrier, when I've had a really worried horse kick me on the head with a hind foot while I was bending down about that position. So sort of got to trust him pretty well, but just be ready. Pull Tied up too tight too quickly. Change it over, you've got bits going to be hanging around. There you go. Okay. Come on, you can bend this way a little bit. Oh, he's worried. You know, he's sort of shaking his head back and forwards and doesn't know which high he'd rather have me in. Good boy. Just give him some space. Just watch when he moves, he doesn't get too scared. And good boy. And sort of pull that up too tight too quick and cause him to buck. I've sort of got my back strings in the back D's at the moment so they don't flap around on him too much. There you go. So I might do things that cause him to run around, but I don't want to particularly have him think that I'm chasing him. Just get a rope. So look at the way he looks back at the saddle and the stirrups. If he comes over near me or follows me, I'll walk away from him and see if we can get him to look back at me for some comfort instead of running around everywhere else. Hey, there you go. It's okay. Give him a rub. Walk away from him. Good boy. You're okay. Yeah. Good boy. There we are. Good boy. There you go. Give him a run. Good. That's good. Let's work some angles and see if he walks back at me. I'll walk away. See if I can bring him back. So it's a bit like the first session, except now he's got way more room to get away from me if he chooses to. That wouldn't be a good place for the first time I did this, but I just want to rub on him and there you go. And then leave him again. If I put any pressure on him at all, it'd be good if he could look back to me. There, walk away. If I can get him to move his hips without walking away, sort of draw him towards me. Right. Good boy. Even here, you know, I want to catch him. And I could put that over his nose, but he's good at just tipping his nose away when he sees me. In fact, I'll see if he'll come over nearer the camera. Because one of my habits is to make sure he finds the halter. So I might have to spend a bit of time here until he actually looks this way. You're going to look this way, hey? Because it's really, I could step in there, which I don't like doing anyway. And, you know, with a wild, there's a change towards me. So the pressure left him. But with something that's really defensive and you step right in front of these front legs, he hasn't tried to strike, but they would strike pretty quick. So I might follow him and annoy him, you know, just put the pressure on him until I see his nose think of coming back towards me. He's going away further. I might follow it, but I'm not going to put it on. I'm looking for there's a change towards me, so I take the pressure back off. Come on, I don't like sort of chasing them around there to get that on. Somehow I'm going to try, there's a change. Encourage him to bring his nose back to me. Oh, you can, no, you're going to keep it there? That'll do. You met me halfway, that's fine. We'll just build on that though. Because it really, you know, even though he's standing here, because I guess he reckons he has to stand here, putting his nose on the outside is really telling me he doesn't want me to catch him. There. Now I've got the rope pretty short. I'll be able to rub down both hind legs here. His head's just bent towards me a little bit. Let's say something went wrong and I got on and he bucked and I fell off and landed behind him here. I'd really like it to know that he wouldn't mind if I touched his hind legs. And he wouldn't have to kick me when I fell off. It's embarrassing enough being bucked off without getting kicked at the same time. That's better. Turn him around a little. Be able to stand there this time? Yeah. No, not really. You can't really stand still, can you? Hey. Good boy. That's pretty well straight up. I'm sort of waving my right leg around a bit now, which I haven't done before. Could be pretty good because when you go to get on, you know, you're leaning forwards a fair bit to bend that knee. You've got to have a bit of trust in both. He has to have trust in me and I have to have a bit in him. And when that stirrup goes, you know, you reach for it. You don't want that to worry him too much. Good. So take that leg up there a little bit and rub in with the knee. Might go back on there and rub this again. Yeah, see how he jumps there? And scratch that. So it was a lot softer when I was on the ground. Now that's hard. So they're all things to look for. You know, how come you tighten that up? When you're going to get on. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just going to come up here and rub on you for a while. Good boy. And come down here and rub for a while. And here and rub for a while. Hey? And then ease off and just rub here for a while. There you go. That's a big deal for him. That's the most licking he's done. That's something changed there. So I think we're going to leave him there because that is huge. So I don't want to push him a little further and then ruin that little bit. Whatever it was that went into his head there was good. I'm pretty pleased with it. You know.